What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the Kansas City Royals franchise here on MLB The Show 23. I'm DFG. And we're coming up to the end of the season here. Last 2 months or so. We're going to go to speed through it here and get to the end of the season. Kind of want to speed up a little bit. I think this series is probably coming to an end. Probably maybe this season, next season, the season after that. And then we'll probably maybe go into fast forward mode going through seasons per episode. But a really good trade here by the Rangers. They want to give us a youngster in Ezekiel Duran, who's younger, same potential, a little bit worse right now, but I think that's a good trade for us to make. So Robert Olson is actually not going to join us at all here. He's going to go into the free agent pool, so we might take a look at him during the off season, as we haven't got an opportunity to sign him. But Gabe Fuentes will indeed join the squad here. Something we can take a look at later in the video. Continuing here with the simulating, lots of losses, not many wins here. Kind of really expect this. We're kind of moving into the last month of the season here, and we're not heading for anything really. We got 6 runs up there, beat the Pirates by 6-0, so that's a good run for us there. Kelvin Sennett probably will bring him up at some point this as well, but some injuries there is gonna have to do that, so we'll bring Sennett up at some point. And as we continue to simulate here, and 3 up against the Angels, win that one. But we're in a kind of position at the moment where we're not really challenging for anything, just kind of seeing what we have maybe for next year. Some guys will make their way up to the bigs, maybe this year during the September call-ups, getting close to that now, so we'll see who comes up with that. But Kelvin Sennett will probably be one of them. There's a few other guys I want to take a look at as well, and we'll go from there and see who we can bring up. So one guy I'm going to bring up here is Dylan Coleman. We will bring up Kelvin Sennett. Dylan Coleman is also going to come up here. He's been down in Double A for a while now. He's actually not. He didn't have the greatest season, so I sent him down. But we're going to bring him back up here. And the second guy is someone I've wanted to take a look at for a long time, but I've been really, really patient. Caden Wallace. He's finally done well enough at AAA to get a chance. He's going to come up for the September call-ups as well. Caden Wallace is going to be hopefully one of our third basemen of the future with Tyler Freeman, though he hasn't been fantastic lately, Tyler Freeman. So I wanted to get rid of Sean Moreno here. Want to send him down, maybe bring up James McCann. But I don't think he's on the 40-man. He's not. I'll have to take a look at the 40-man here and see who I can get rid of. You know what? I'm not going to make any moves here, getting rid of players. I think our 40-man is pretty good. We'll see what we do at the end of the season. I'm going to bring in former left fielder who played for us, I think it was maybe not last year, but the year before, AJ Pollock. Good lefty hitter, more of a depth, just to bring him in here for September and see how he gets on. So more substitution, I was going to say, simulation here. Pretty bad month for us here in September. Lots of losses. Only won, 5 games. Not the greatest of Septembers, but this is the type of team that we're on at the moment. We haven't been very good, and that's unfortunate. But it's not surprising given that we've had the team that we've had, I suppose, as we continue to try and win here. Andrew Heaney's actually gotten himself hurt here, so we might make some moves here. We're going to bring up Tucker Bradley. Maybe he'll get a few games here. Did okay when he came up last time. Want to see him at the majors again. Let's give him a go. So we'll sim through a little bit more. We are currently 62 and 99 in the last game of the season. We're going to play Colorado, and we are going to go and play the final game of the season here against them. So that's going to be our feature length here today. Ben Kudrna is going to be our man here, who's going to start the game. He's going to start on the mound for us today. Had a very good season, Ben Kudrna. Hopefully going to be a part of our offense here. So next up, Jonathan Daza is going to be the guy who starts for the Rockies here today. So let's see how we get on. Kudrna gets that one in. Also, the two seamers also going to get in. So maybe a 3-ball strikeout. Not quite a strikeout, but he grounds in the first baseman, Pasquantino. Will indeed sort that out. Now Frank De La Rosa here. Strikeout. Nice slider on the outside. MJ Melendez now 1 out. 2-0 here for Melendez. That one's down the middle. That one will bloop in here for Melendez. He'll get on first base for our first hit of the day. Kelvin Sennett has had his chance here in September and not really done well. 125 average, not really hit the ball hard. Kelvin Sennett is very much a power hitter, but he's not done great. I just wanted to give him a go here in September, and he's not really shown that he's ready. I think he's in his he's got like mid 70s overall, but he's just not there yet. He's 2-2 now with 2 out. Melendez is able to get on base earlier, trying to bring him home now, and he's going to strike out to a 4-seam fastball low, so that'll end the first. And Chris Bryant is going to get a hit back up the middle for Colorado's first hit of the day. Ben Kudrna gets hit pretty hard in that one, so that's something you want to see here early. And now Bryce Ball is up, hit 315 so far this season, and he's going to hit one into deep right field, and Waters not going to get her. Hits it awkwardly off the wall, and that'll actually bring in the first run of the day, and that'll be a RBI triple for Bryce Ball. 1 down now. Aaron Shunk has done a really good job, and that's an absolute smashed into left center field, and that'll go out. And Aaron Shunk, who's got a hitting over 300 at the moment, he's just got his 6th home run. Aaron Shunk, not really a guy who's going to wow you with his overall, but his hitting skills have given us a lifeline here. And Ezekiel Duran is going to come back and get a hit into right field there. So that's actually 2 hits in a row, and we're 1 out. And now we've got Drew Waters coming up. Let's see what he can do here. And that's going to end a double play, and that's going to end the inning. Yep. So we get 1 back at least. Francisco Mejia, 234. Nice hit into left field here. Kudrna leaves up another one. This could be a double. Wallace is over there. Of course, third baseman who can lay in the corner outfield spots. See, cuts that off. And Frank De La Rosa is going to walk on a pretty close pitch. And now you've got Brendan Rodgers, always known to be a good contact hitter. And that one's actually going to drop into right field. Waters fires it in, and Melendez didn't actually get him there. They say that the tag from third, he was safe. I thought he got him. That looked like he got him to me. I have to look at this replay. Let's just take a look here from the tag. Rodgers hits it out. Okay, so he goes. And Melendez, that looks like he gets him there. That looks to me like he gets him. Maybe if you see it from the other side. Oh, from the other side. He actually moves his hand out of the way so that he doesn't get him. That's a run. That's a good call. They'll get out of it though, and that'll bring us to the bottom of the third. Full count now for Chris Bryant. Top of the fourth for Colorado as they have a 2-1 lead. Fought off that last one, and that one's left over the middle, and Kelvin Sinnott, you can watch it go over the fence. Chris Bryant comes back. That's his second hit of the day, and this time it goes in out of the park and into the empty place there in center field. That's number 31 for Chris Bryant. Not a good look for us today, or Ben Cooter. After leaving up the whole run earlier, you'd expect Cooter to try and get out this as quick as he can. He's got Frank De La Rosa. Let's see if he can get out. He has got two out already. 1 and 2 here for Frank De La Rosa, fighting off some really nice pitches from Cooter now. And that one is going to get crushed as well. De La Rosa joins the party. Is another home run for the Colorado Rockies. That's number 7, 373. Cooter has, had some good pitches today, but he's also left things over the plate, and the Rockies have punished him for it, and they've battled with him, and they're getting their desserts. In comes Kyle Nelson to here at the top of the sixth. Says Kudrna gets through 5 innings, leaving up 4 runs. 2 home runs? Not the greatest of. I could not have timed those words in any better time. Home run. Gleyber Torres gets his 25th of the year and 3 for the Rockies in the game. That's Nelson leaving up a home run. Colorado hit the ball hard, and when you're in. This is actually at home, I think. This is in Coors Field. Fights that one off. Kind of lost where I was for a moment, thinking I was in Coors Field. That one's actually hit by Nolan Jones, back up the middle. Things aren't going to get any better for Carl Nelson here. Caden Wallace will walk. Luckily, Carl Nelson was able to get out of a pretty sticky top of the 6th. Vinny Pasquantino hitting way better in September than he did in August. That's a great pitch, though. Not going to swing at that one. I do like Vinny Pasquantino. I do question his ability to actually play first base. He's had some errors over the last few years, and that's a good hit into left field. That's going to bring Caden Wallace around. They're going to wave him around, and that's going to be a very, very good defensive play. Good relay to the middleman, and they get him at the plate. 1-1 now for Melendez. That's a nice hit, and this will probably bring Pasquantino home. Indeed it will. Melendez sprinting into second, going for 3, but he's going to head back here, and he's going to get away with it. Okay, that was lucky. Melendez, an RBI double, 5-2, closes the gap a little bit. 0 for 2 now, Kelvin Sinnott. Let's see if he can do something with this one. Nope, pretty poor contact. And that's going to end the 6th. Way outside for Coleman. Absolutely had a horrid first 12 innings at the majors this year. That's a way better slider. De La Rosa already gone deep today. That's a nice slider as well. Frank De La Rosa, 1 and 2, and fights off the fastball inside as Dylan Coleman tries to get through the 7th. And gets him with a strikeout. That slider low. Pretty good pitch. And that's Ezekiel Duran. And he's going to get that into right field. A blooper of a first, not really hard hit, but hit where it needed to be. 3-1. Low, that's a walk. So Getting something here in the 7th on a little bit of a 2-out rally here. Now Caden Wallace is up next. 2-2 for Wallace. Hits it and gets it through. And they're going to get Duran in. And now we've got 2 on, 2 out here. And we're going to leave the bases loaded on MJ Melendez. That ends the 7th. Could have had a chance there. Rob Forbes coming in to pinch hit in the 8th, and he actually gets one down. Forbes, much like Shunk, not going to amaze you with his overall, but a very good hitter. Now Salvador Perez, 0-1. That's hit well. Oh, Brendan Rodgers. And that'll end the inning. Wow. What a hit from Perez, and Brendan Rodgers just says, not today. And so they're going to bring in Pierce Johnson to close out the game here for the Rockies. Pretty good season, to be fair. We start off with Aaron Shunk, of course, had that really nice home run earlier. And see what he can do in this inning. Oh, that's a terrible swing. 0-2. Oh, swung at it again. That slurve, man. God damn. That one's crazy. So Drew Waters is our last hope here in the bottom of the 9th. Oh no. And he swings at an inside fastball low, goes to the third baseman, and the Rockies will win. Don't really think that we deserved the win against the Rockies here today. They hit the ball much harder than we did, and we gave them a lot more opportunities than we gave us. Than they gave us, and the opportunities that we did create, we didn't take advantage of. There's not much more else to say. Both teams with 8 hits, but that's how it goes. So at the end of the season, we end up getting 62 and 100. We just not a good team right now. We're one of the worst teams throughout the series. We're making slow progress with the guys that are coming up, but at the moment we are certainly falling behind some of the other players. We need to make moves in this offseason. So Salvador Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, top 3 in home runs. But MJ Melendez and Tyler Freeman also had double digits in home runs. A little bit happy with how MJ Melendez is doing. Not a guy who's always going to get you crazy amount of home runs, but does well enough. Drew Waters is always one of my favorites. RBIs, that'll be Salvador Perez, Bobby Witt Jr., and of course Pasquantino, the guys with the most home runs. In terms of average, we've got Rob Forbes. Again, a guy that we talked about. He's not going to wow you with his overall, but he'll hit very, very well. Forbes, Wallace, and Shunk, 3 young players all hitting over 300. Pretty happy with that. Didn't have crazy at bats, but they've proven that they can hit at this level. Bobby Witt Jr., the best of the players that played all season. Once again, Drew Waters, just solid 259. Will give you some home runs, give you some hits. Will play good defense, will get on base. Another good season from him. Pasquantino hit 258, and Salvi Perez hit 257. So pretty good season, for Bobby Witt Jr. Even though the team's not ready, he's really blossomed into a really good superstar. Can steal bases, really good defensively. Got a good arm, good fielding. And at the moment, Drew Waters has been our best WAR player this year. Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvador Perez round out the top 3. Aaron Shunk there, number 4, 1.1 WAR. Very well done to him. Some minus WAR. Bradley, Senes didn't get many opportunities, to be fair. Ezekiel Duran only spent most of his time at the Rangers. The worst being Gavin Cross. And to be fair, I'm not surprised. Gavin has not had fantastic years at the major league level. So hopefully he can improve, but we do need to make some moves during the offseason to make this team better. So, Drew Waters, I'd like to keep around. I think he's a great player. It's just a guy who will give you solid at-bats, get you through get you on base a lot. Hit well against righties this year. Not as good as against lefties, which isn't surprising considering he's more of a contact hitter. Against righties, and he's more of a contact hitter against more of a home run hitter against lefties. Shunk hit lefties well. Melendez hit lefties well. Bobby Witt Jr. hit lefties well. Perez. We actually have a really good lefty lineup. Um, so a lot of guys hit lefties well. Kelvin Sennett didn't hit lefties at all. Then again, he didn't. He had 12 at bats against lefties. Yeah, that's not great to be fair. Caden Wallace likes to play at home. Shunk there, Forbes. Cool splits to see, but not really relevant. Anybody hitting big away from home here, or are we? There was a few. Right, best guy average in runners in scoring position. Tucker Bradley had a 313 average, so that wasn't too bad. I suppose he's more of a clutch player than he is, a run of the mill player. He's not going to get you any solo home runs. We brought in Andrew Heaney, and he did okay. He did 13 and 9. He's on the injury list. I don't know if I'm going to bring him back at a 78 overall. I think we already have a Andrew Heaney type player in Noah Syndergaard. Do have some good players. Ben Kudrna now at the age he had a very, very good season, 3.04 ERA, which was even better before his final day performance. It was under 3, but it goes over 3 in the performance at the end. Dylan Coleman, as I said, has had a horrid season this year, 7.85. Did only pitch 18.1 innings because he spent the majority of his time in the minor leagues, as he just never had a fantastic. He just wasn't feeling it this year. Lucas Sims did okay. Don't know if I'll keep him around. Bobby Ostrander, probably his last season as well. Even though he did fine, I just think we need better options in the bullpen. Gary Nixon, a starting pitcher, did pretty well, though that ERA is a bit higher than I would like it to be. Kudrna, Rosenthal, and Nelson, the best pitchers for ERA. Bolin also had a very good ERA as well. In terms of whip, Nixon, Noah Syndergaard, Jonathan Bolin, top 3. Jordan Hicks is also there. Quality starts, Noah Syndergaard, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. But Singer and Heaney and Nixon also had a lot. We had 3 complete game shutouts from Kudrna, Heaney, and Singer. So we're building a very good young pitching rotation. Heaney will probably be gone. Bolin is there. Singer is there. Nixon is there. There's a lot. We've got a lot of good things going for us. Jordan Hicks took over the closing role, and he did a pretty decent job, I think, given that he blew 8 saves, which isn't terrible for his first season. I was pretty happy with how he performed. In terms of WAR, Gary Nixon actually led us, so the young pitcher really did a great job. Brady Singer had a 2.0 WAR as well. Worst on the team was Dylan Coleman, just didn't have a good year, as we said. In terms of strikeouts, Lucas Sims still doing a really great job at getting strikeouts. Hicks, Montero, and Rosenthal also getting more than one strikeout an inning. Dylan Coleman, slightly less than that, but does get a lot of strikeouts. Gary Nixon as well got 161 strikeouts in 174 innings, so he did really well and just a really, really good player, and very, very rarely gives walks away. Bobby Ostrander's done a good job. Andrew Heaney. One thing that Bobby Ostrander you do have to look out for is the walks. Dylan Coleman also had a poor walk per 9 number to this year. And Gary Nixon, just one of the best players that we have at not walking players. Yarborough and Syndergaard round out the top 3, all under 2 walks per 9 innings. Home runs, Dylan Coleman had nearly 3 per 9 innings, so he did not have a good season in that regard. And when you do that, your ERA tends to balloon a lot higher. Kyle Nelson, Rafael Montero, and Jordan Hicks all under 1. Trevor Rosenthal had 1, and Kudrna just over 1. A few guys actually had just over 1 here. The FIP, yeah, Dylan Coleman's not going to look good. One guy who did look good, though, was Rafael Montero. Hicks, Rosenthal, Nelson, Sims, Nixon. Maybe you do keep Sims around then with a FIP under 4, but his ERA was much higher than 4. That's one thing Ben Kudrna did not do well in, 4.03. It's not a terrible FIP, but it's certainly something that we need to look at. Our FIPs aren't great. The advanced numbers on these pitchers aren't the greatest that I've ever seen. And here are the awards for this season. We did have one guy get an opportunity to win something that was Gary Nixon Rookie of the Year. He was pretty good, to be fair. I can't say that Nick Sogard doesn't deserve it with 11 home runs. I would, Gary Nixon and Sogard kind of have a pretty similar season, but we'll see how Nixon gets on next year to see if he's an actual mainstay at the major league or not. But that's all we have time for, guys. I hope you enjoyed our very quick jaunt here through the last 2 months of our season, with the off season coming up next, and then on to the next season as well, going to jump right back into Major League Baseball and the next season for Kansas City Royals after the off season and spring training. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.